Hey everybody, so I just recently purchased this Primary Arms 2.5 compact scope for my AR15. It's got a bullet drop reticle right there, and this thing's pretty sweet. I'm actually really happy with it. I didn't want to spend $1,000 on a ACOG or RCO, any of that nonsense. So this thing was only, I think, $220 on primaryarms.com, I think is where it was. And I've done some testing with it and I like it a lot. So here it is right here on my rifle. Yeah, I painted it because I don't believe in walking around the woods with a black gun that sticks out. So I got the kill flash with it too, the honeycomb right up there on the front. And this thing's awesome. It's not battery dependent. It works without it. You don't have to have batteries on there. And the farthest I've shot it out so far is about 250, close to 300 yards. I'm not 100% sure. I took it over by some power lines and tried it out, and I'm pretty happy with it. The way it works is you sight it in at 50 yards on the center dot right there in the middle of the reticle, and you're good from 50 yards out to 300. Now, you sight it in at 50 yards. I noticed that the drop at like where I was at, I think it was about 250, between 250 and 300. The drop was about 6 inches, maybe 7 inches. So I noticed that, but on a man-sized target from, you know, the chest to the head, that's really not a big deal. This is kind of a combat style scope. It's not anything for like precision, really, I guess. But I'm happy with it, like I said. So the main thing is this reticle. I mean, it looks big on the box, but actually when you look through the scope, it's actually pretty small in the center of it. And anywhere from 0 to 100 yards, you just put the whole reticle on somebody or on the target, whatever the case may be, and you can engage it and you will hit. So here on the back of the box, you can see, what everything looks like a little bigger. So the first dot on the very top, that's where you sight in at 50 yards, and then it goes to 400 right there on the 2, and that 3 that's noted right there, that's I think 5, and then 6. So it goes all the way up to 600 yards. The dots right here, see if I can kind of zoom in on the dot on the right and on the left, those are for leading a target, a man-sized target that's running anywhere from 100, I guess, to 300 yards is what it says on the box. I don't know. I don't think I have any moving targets to really gauge that. And you see those lines on the left and on the right of the aperture, those are actually for measuring the distance of a target. So those lines should fit going from left to right, those lines should fit a man's like 18 inches of their like upper chest and shoulder. So it should be the shoulder length. And so the smaller the shoulder length, you see the dots, there's 4 lines and there's 4 dots. So whichever the shoulder length is, you go to that dot. So the first one's the first dot, and then the second, and then the third, and then that smallest line goes to the 600 yards. So obviously the smaller, the further away the person is. That also measures height. So if it's a man standing up, which I'm sure when you start shooting at somebody, I don't think they're going to be standing. So you should probably use the lengthwise ones for the shoulder height or the shoulder length. But regardless, those are for a standing individual. So if you actually watch videos on it from Primary Arms on YouTube, you can look and see how to actually use it. They can use a lot more animation than I can. But this is just giving you an idea of this scope. Now I shot it. It's pretty good. My rifle is just a simple carbine. It's not free floated or anything. It's just Frankenstein. It's got a black forged lower and a surplus arms and ammo upper, which I'm very impressed with. This thing does it all. You hardly even notice the magnification when you're engaging closer targets. It's almost like a red dot. But then when you get out, you know, to distance or whatever, like when I was shooting at 250 to 300 yards, it was really pleasant to shoot. You don't always need to put the battery power on here. The battery power just makes it red, you know, brightens it up a little bit, which is great for when it gets a little darker, early mornings, dusk, night, whatever the case may be. But you don't really need it during the day, which is cool. So, but yeah, this is it.